Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. Here is a view of me you don't get very often. Usually I am a spreadsheet budgeter. However, this time around, because I'm doing a little bit of a quarter one review, when it comes to lists and things, I do actually prefer to be on paper. I don't do it for my month to month because one, I like the fact that Excel does the math for me. And two, I just find that I used to be into like bullet journaling and things, right? And because I really like the part of bullet journaling I like is the kind of creative pictures and setting up the spreads and doing the front cover and stuff like that. I find it quite fun. I wanted it to look really pretty, and eventually it was becoming counterproductive to its purpose because I was feeling quite under pressure trying to get the pretty things done, and it was compromising my ability to use it. And I really wanted to take that component out of my budgeting. So I decided not to do my main budgeting on paper, just because I felt like I didn't want anything in the way of me actually achieving my goals. And I was much more likely to stick with it if I did it on the computer with minimal fussing. Now, that's not to say today is going to be fussy. I just prefer to have pen and paper in hand for lists. I'm not sure why. It is just my way. So I've bought myself a little notebook here, and just nothing fancy, just from the store. And I will zoom you in a little bit. We're going to do a review today. We're going to look at what my annual goals were. And now I've been paid for March because I got paid on the, what? Ooh, 12th, 13th, something like that. And YouTube will be coming in the next 4 or 5 days, but I know the numbers for that. It means I have all the info I need for the first quarter. So let me just zoom you in a little bit and get us set up. Oh, I'm not going to lie, that was harder than I thought to get it zoomed in so you could see it. If it's clear, please let me know. If it's not clear, let me know. I will try and remember to move this up as I work so that I'm not drawing somewhere you can't see. I need to keep checking on the camera. It's my first time trying to record a book, excuse me. Okay, so this is my 2024 Q1 review. Oh, I always get the I and the E mixed up with that word. I think it's right. Forgive me for my handwriting. I think I must have been a doctor in a previous life. So at the beginning of this year, my annual goals had certain expectations. So I expected, put E for expectations, I can't be bothered to write it, that over the course of the year, I was going to get about £38,500. I'm going to be working in OMR, Omani Real, and pounds because that's what I save in. I have tried to convert most things into approximate pounds to minimize how many currencies I'm working with, but just for the information, because the money was originally in real, some of the things I have to do. Okay, so if I divide that by 4, I know to be on track for this quarter, I was going to need to bring in £9,625. So if we look at the actual income for this portion of the year, I got my salary 3 times. That was in Omani Real, like I say, that was 3,939 OMR, which ends up being around the £8,000 mark. I'm approximating, as I say, but it'll all come out in the wash. Now, even though I'm taking an average, the truth is I'm going to have some quarters that are lighter and some quarters that are heavier. That's because some of the income that I'm accounting into that are in the forms of lump sum payments. So in my case, the 2 lump sums I get are my flight allowance, which I got in March. So this will be one of the heavier quarters. And my bonus, which I get in September sometime, which is roughly half a month's salary. I have 2 different components of my salary, and it's the equal to one of those components. So I did receive my flight. My flight was actually a little bit lower than I was expecting, but that's because flight costs are a little bit lower. Surprisingly, I was thinking they were still insane. But that was 800, what am I saying? 358, which is about £700. Hopefully I've remembered to put a conversion up somewhere on the screen for you. And then in additional income, make sure I'm spelling it right, which is mainly YouTube. I don't get paid in OMR for that, which means I received 3,660 British pounds, GBP. So that means my total income for the quarter was higher than expected at 12,300? No. Oh, not doing my math well. 12,600. Definitely not making a mistake. Definitely do not have Tipex, so we're going to have to live with it. GBP. Now, I did actually move around some income as well. So I've had to count it as income, even though it was technically in my savings, because it's gone into some of my savings now. I had a sinking fund for travel, and I've moved it into just savings and investments because I'm not going to use it for travel this year. So I've got an extra 1,200 on top of that relocated, which had to go into the spreadsheet, but doesn't actually count for this. This is the money I received. Let's just remember to move this up so you can still see. I'm hoping I'll have enough space to do this actually. So the good news there has been that my income has been more than anticipated, but let's just see where I allocated it. So the first thing I did was to finish my emergency fund. And that took another 2,900 because it actually grew an investment a tiny bit, so I didn't need the full 3,000. Into my pension, I have put £2,695. And into my future fund, I have put 3,750. Now, I did have 2,000 in my tax already, which is about what I needed, but I did start to allocate because I'm going to be doing my taxes soon, just in case I needed extra or in case, just towards next year. So I've also allocated 600 of that into tax. I filled a few sinking funds because I've been funding medical a little bit higher because I'm intending to have some dental work done. So 550 has gone towards medical. And large purchases, I have put in 700. My last two sinking funds were gifts and hair, and they got a combined total of 300. I have just gone and found my handy calculator, so that's going to make life easier, and give me a moment. Okay, so that means the total I put towards my allocations was 11,495. But what I'm actually going to do is just minus out tax here because that's not money I get to keep. So if we do that, it's going to mean that I have a final total of 10,895 towards financial goals, sinking funds, that kind of thing. And that in turn means that my expenditures for this quarter have been, come back, handy calculator, 11,495 minus 600 minus 12,660 equals, that means in the last 3 months I've spent 1,765 on general living costs here in Oman. So that's just money that's gone because I have to survive as a human being. That's money that's going to go towards my taxes. And this is a really good number, so I'm very pleased with that. Given that my entire income was, before I minus, was only meant to be 9,625, I think I've done a really good job to be able to do nearly 11,000 for these 3 months. Now, as I say, I did get my flight allowance here, so this is a bit of a heavier hitter in terms of quarters. My summer quarter 2, quarter 3, are likely to be less funded, especially with us going on summer break. If you don't know, I'm a teacher, so I don't go to school in summer. I do get paid in the summer because that's just the way it works here. My salary is my salary every month. And as I say, I chose to forgo traveling this year in order to save money faster because I really wanted to focus on these goals this year. So I won't be going on any big trips during the summer. Oh, one piece of news. If you have been following the saga of my bank, I finally got the notification that the credit card is cancelled. I am so pleased. I meant to lead the video with that, but there we go. If you've been watching along, victory is ours. Only took them 8 months, but there we go. So all in all, I'm pleased with this review. I do think it's important to keep checking back and checking in. Otherwise, it's really difficult to know where you are, if you have to make up any ground, if it's okay to ease off or put some extra towards things. So quite happy with all of this. Let me just zoom you out. Ooh, let's move everything back now. So that's the whole thing. In another 3 months, I'll come and do the Q2 and we'll see where we are for the year and if it's matching up to where I intend to be. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.